Rajat. You've heard what the bankers have to say. You know, I was almost about to say the farmers because it's so identical what is happening. It's you know, this is the government saying that this is required to meet the aspirations of India's aspirations of the future, and that's why it will be done. And the bankers are now saying what is the need, and they're casting aspersions on this decision, much like the farmers did. Would you say that this is yet another attempt where consensus building was treated as something not required, not necessary?
I think this entire exercise of consolidating Indian banks and looking at the targets that Prime Minister Modi had set for the nation, aspirational target of $5 trillion economy, all of those goals cannot be fetched having weak banks with weaker balance sheets. In order to have stronger balance sheets and equity infusion, not just from taxpayers' money, but also from various people who can invest into the sector, can infuse equity into the sector and be that backbone which requires India's economy to boom and beat up the expectations and aspirations of the young Indians who look up to building a strong economy in this coming decade. So, I mean, other than rhetorical doubts that have been raised by some of the union members, I still don't see any concrete merit into what their demand is, the reason behind why they're protesting. It's not like that the government is going to privatize all the public sector banks. They have declared in the budget that just 2 public sector banks, which would be relatively smaller banks, would be privatized. And it's a gradual approach that the government is taking, understanding the need that the employees of these banks will have. They have to be accommodated. The financial sector has to be robust in order to have all of these people within the payrolls of these banks. So all of these things are there. But there is a glide path that the government has charted out and has treaded onto very carefully.
Okay.
And I think,
Sure. Let me come back to you. Mr. R. Gandhi, see, Rajat Sethi just now mentioned that, you can't have weak banks with a weak balance sheet and hope for your economic targets to be achieved. But my question is, why can't public sector banks also be strong banks? Why do public sector banks have to be weak? And why does their privatization only be the solution for making them strong?
Yeah, thank you. The question is not about whether the public sector bank is weak or strong. Basically, what is needed is in the years to come, as the banks grow, they will be needing large capital to be continuously coming, not only just for meeting the provision requirement against the NPAs, but also as a growth capital. So that is what is a fundamental issue. By being public sector banks, if the capital, such a large capital is needed, and whether the government finances will be sufficient enough or strong enough to be pumping that kind of large capital. So there the conclusion looks like that the government will not be able to continuously be giving large capital to the public sector banks. If they do not give, the public sector banks will remain as stunted. So they will not be able to grow. So when we have aspirations that the country as a whole, we want to reach higher growth potential, that means the credit to GDP ratio will have to necessarily be much larger. Today we are one of the low credit GDP ratio countries, hardly about 60%, whereas many of our the advanced nations and including China, they are all 100 plus. So if you have to increase such a large increase in credit to take place, that means that large capital will also be needed. And whereas public sector banks will not be able to muster in that large capital, whether they are strong or whether they are weak. So that is why the fundamental argument is finding adequate capital resources for these banks. Okay. That is where I think that argument definitely is very strong to say that a few public sector banks be privatized.
Okay.